Assalamu alaikum. My name is Sana and I'm from Belgium. It's regulated in my country because Belgium is in EU, and according to the new EU regulation, hijab is controlled at the workplace. So I'm really at discretion of my employer, and he can really stop me from wearing hijab if he wants to. How does it affect my livelihood? I would say for the moment, I have no issues. My employer is okay with my hijab. They're focused on my work. They're happy with my work. So I have no issues. But if tomorrow ask me to remove my hijab before I can work, then I have to think about it. So if I've experienced hijabophobia firsthand, I did. I did in the beginning a lot. Now I feel I'm very comfortable and confident in my hijab. I can manage hijabophobia when I see it around me, or it doesn't affect me anymore. But in the beginning, yes, I feel like when I was a meeting or something at work, I felt like I wasn't even acknowledged. My presence was like, there was no presence, you know. It's like, hello, hello, and then skip to me and then hello, you know. So, or in an elevator, if someone meets someone, says hello to everyone, and then it's like, I don't exist there. So I had been like non-existing at my workplace for a long time, but not within my team. It was like people from outside, not really the people I worked with. So there are really people who are okay with your right to wear what you want, and then there are people who see it as a symbol of oppression or something which is Middle Eastern, which is not part of their culture. And it's like, you know, you're in Belgium, so do as Romans do. So if you're in Rome, do what the Romans do. So they are really like mixed opinion about hijab, and sometimes it's not positive. I would say, hijab is really about modesty of Muslim women who want to wear it, and it's really their choice, those who want to do it. And for the people who don't want to see women wearing hijab, that is oppression. I want to convey the message that hijab is not oppressive, hijab is not oppression, any form of clothing is not oppression, but forcing someone to do something, to wear or to remove what they're wearing is oppression.
Hello there, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Janine El-Hinawi. I live in Switzerland. I am married. I'm a mother to 4 boys. They are triplets who are 13 years old and another boy who is 8. I homeschool all of them, and I'm also an entrepreneur. So I live in Switzerland, and I was born here actually a Christian. So I wasn't raised Muslim or anything. And actually, before I converted or even started wearing the hijab or the headscarf, I had some pretty bad misconceptions about it. In 2006, I converted to Islam, and I think 1 year later, I actually decided on my own that I really truly want to wear the hijab. Now, how is the hijab regulated in Switzerland? Actually, there are no regulations about the headscarf or the hijab here, but last year in 2021, there was a vote by the public where now it's not allowed to wear the niqab or the burqa, where the ladies actually would cover their face and where you only see their eyes. So that is not allowed here. My employment has been affected by wearing the hijab, where actually I was living in Egypt. I couldn't find a job because some of the companies told me that I am wearing a too strong of a hijab or a headscarf, whatever that might mean. So that's one of the reasons I decided I truly just want to work from home online, so I can decide myself what I want to wear and what I don't want to wear. I have experienced Islamophobia in some terms here, where actually people would drive by me with the bicycle or the car, and they would shout really mean things at me. At one point, I was walking in the street in a bigger city here, and there was a guy even pushing me like just to decide. And that is really a few things that happen. Most of the time, people are friendly and, some people come even ask, and I always love to tell them more, and they ask me, why are you wearing this? And I really love to explain them to me. That is a really good dialogue that's happening here. Now, overall, the hijab here is seen, it's okay to wear it. Like I explained, it's only a few people who might think, she's a foreigner. And then when they hear that, I actually reply to them in Swiss German. They're like, wow, are you Swiss? And that opens a really great dialogue. My message I want to give the world about the hijab and the headscarf, I want to tell you, don't be scared of it. Most of us women wearing the headscarf, we have decided by ourselves. It was a choice to wear it. So please just accept it and see it just as a dress. That's something that belongs to us. Like one person one time told me, would you be throwing out a diamond in the street just like this? And I said, no, for sure not. And the hijab is something like this, like you would take that diamond and you would wrap it nicely in a beautiful box or in a nice scarf. And that is what the hijab means to me. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you all the best. Bye and salam alaikum.
Hi everyone, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I hope you're all doing great. I will share with you the journey of a random Muslim girl, a hijabi one, born and raised in France. So let's get started. Is the hijab regulated in your country? I would say it's a yes, but also a no. Yes, because it's still allowed to wear the hijab in public spaces and you can attend university. But it's also no, because it's not allowed in school, primary school, middle school. You cannot work with it in many places, company. They don't allow it. And in some private school also. So, yeah. How does this affect your livelihood? The thing is that over the years, I've worked a lot on myself psychologically, like negativity. I just couldn't understand why people are, people behaviors are like this. I'm just questioning everything. So I'm a really curious person. So my main goal is to seek seek knowledge and learn and grow. So when you want this, you know that you don't have that a lot of energy to spend it. So you are careful with it. So I don't let people's perception of me dictate my behavior toward them, because I know that I will never grow as a person. So I let myself open to experience things, despite what other things it may be, like foreigner or like even in my own community as a Muslim. I do what I want to do. So yeah, the thing is, I mean, like you can't make people do right by you. The only thing you can control is what you think and what you do. So as I said, I'm not losing my energy towards things I can't deal with. I'm focusing on myself, on my growth. And like everybody has their own way to deal with bad and negativity. So I myself take it as a game and make fun of it most of the time. So the basic thing, like, how can I say it? Like, when you are a gamer, you know that you will lose a lot before winning and be skilled. So the worst situation for us, is to stop trying. Even if I make a lot of failure, I will still try. So it's not like I'm not dealing with people, I'm dealing with my own self. Like it's me versus me, not people. So like everyone must stay at their place. It's better. So have I experienced hijabophobia firsthand? Yes, a lot. Several times, yes. Like, what's hilarious about me is that, like, I respond to several categories at once. So I am a student, I am an employee, but also a former football player. So I will share with you 3 experiences that I had and how I overcame them. So as a former football player, I was like playing football in club since I was 8 or 9 years old. So I was a licensed player. So which means that I had a team and so on. So we played a lot of championships. So it was a big thing. I wasn't concerned because I was younger, but when I put on the hijab when I was like 15 years old, I think, by my own will, by the way, I was concerned about the issue because football referee doesn't allow me to play football with my hijab on. So one day, like randomly, I just hit my head on the goal and I injured myself on my head. So I was like the idea just popped up in my mind. What I'm trying to say is that sometimes your mind is telling you, is finding you a solution when you don't expect it at all. So I hit my head on the goal, and I was like, why not put a rugby helmet on my head? Because I was a goalkeeper, and this kind of injury happens every every time you play. So why the rugby helmet? I was a football player on my free time in a club, but I was also on my school time. I was a rugby player. Like I was in a sport class and we played rugby. I was doing both. So and I had this equipment. Like I had a rugby helmet. Because my position allows me to wear it. So I was like, why not like connect these two? So the football referee cannot refuse to let you play because you're wearing a rugby helmet because you are a goalkeeper. So this is how I overcame it, and I was playing football like everyone. So it's also thanks to my coach because he wasn't afraid to present like a hijabi player, and because he was courageous enough, and also because he needed me. Because when you're a skilled person, like you have talents, if I can say it, people need you, so they will not look just at your hijab. They would see you as a good player, so they will need you. So as student, when I attended university, everything was okay because this is allowed, so I didn't have any issue. But right now I am a nutritionist student, and the only places that you can learn and apply to this field is on high schools. So in high schools, what I was saying before is that it's not allowed to wear the hijab in the name of secularism. So you can't. But this wasn't the only reason why they didn't accept my application. Sorry. It's also because I am a practicing Muslim. So as a nutritionist student, each week you have to cook meals and you have to eat your meals. So the thing is that there is pork and there is also meat, non-halal meat, So the head chief told me that if I wasn't okay with eating everything, because they didn't accept like vegetarian people or anything like this, they will not take my application. So I didn't do it. So it was also because of this. So the thing is that I did is that I found it like I can apply in this field like as I don't know how to say it. It says like candidature libre. It's like a free application. You just have to show up on the exam. So you can but you have to pay courses. Like this is not free courses. So because in high school it's free for your course. So yeah. So that's why I'm also a worker. But this is how I did it. And last year when I was attending my exam, I had the director that didn't allow me to just cross the door of the school because I was wearing the hijab, and I just know my rights, so I just say 2 lines, and she couldn't stop me, but she tried to do everything in her power to I don't know how to say it, but to disturb me so I would fail my exam. Thanks God I had 20, so it's 100 on 100 for other country, but in France it's 20 on /20, so the max it's the maximum score. Alhamdulillah. So yeah, this with those kind of situation, if you don't control your behavior or what you are feeling emotionally inside, there is this hijabi girl that just come in just 5 minutes before me, and she was humiliated in front of everyone. She had to take off her hijab in front of everyone, and she was crying, and she was completely devastated, and she failed her exam sadly. So when I saw this, I was nobody is allowed to humiliate me or to tell me what I can or what I can't do. And the thing is that the law, it's not forbidden to take an official exam while you're wearing your hijab, because you're not subject to the school rules which prohibit it. It's really important to understand it. Because so many people don't know this. If you didn't sign the school rules, you're not you're not submitted, So you should seek knowledge and know your rights. Can you believe it? The school director just came especially for me to follow me and make sure that because they came up with the idea that with the argument that I'm wearing headphones below my hijab, so I will cheat on the exam, So I was oh, come follow me on the bathroom, I will show you. And I was just allowing only women to see what was in below my hijab. It was really, really funny. So that's why everything was cool. For me, in my mind, I was not scared or angry, or I was just dying of love. That's it. And now, as a worker, I choose to work on fields that are self-isolated. I don't work with a team. I don't have a manager. I don't have co-workers. I'm all by myself. So you can find a lot of work that are self-isolated. For example, just I don't know, a truck driver, if I'm correct. Delivery man, they work alone by themselves. So this is one of those examples. So yeah, so at my work, I'm not wearing my hijab, but nobody saw my body or even my hair, because I'm dressed, I'm well covered up, you can see nothing. So the question is that what's hijab actually? If you seek knowledge and you learn, you will see that the hijab is not a proper a piece of cloth. it's more based on rules, you know. So what if they ban the hijab? It's really simple. You just put on clothes that covers you well, like all your body and hair. Like you can wear a big hoodie or, you know, so many clothes. So like you don't have to stress yourself about this topic. As long as your hair is not showing and your body is not is well covered up, you can like offer your prayer. This is my one go line, you know. It's like I just ask myself a simple question: how I am going to dress so that whenever I want to offer my salah, my prayer, I am able to. This is really simple. I just clearly know if these clothes are allowed or not. This is as simple as it is. Like, don't stress yourself, or don't like take it like don't like. I witnessed so many cases that when you don't have like your like full jilbab, you will not like pray, or like just focus on your prayer. Pray on time and pray like just do it, you know. So how is the hijab seen overall in your society, in your country? I would say that it's seen as something oppressive, like women have no rights, you are dominated housewife, and so on. And the last one, what message will you want to portray to the world about the hijab? Be unapologetically you, and rise your head up and keep moving. That's the hijabi girls. And I will quote a great man whom I admire and respect a lot, named Marwan Muhammad, who says that Muslim won't give their religion to please racist and ignorant people, and they are not the first generation to face injustice. So like our parents, our elder parents before them, we will remain faithful to our values, our ideals, and to our faith. And those who think that we must choose or give any proof of loyalty between our belonging religion and our citizenship understood neither of them. When we will need their permission, we will call them. Until then, we stay free and worthy. So, keep up.
Assalamu alaikum guys, my name is Musadilahi. I am a mindset coach, an author, an international inspirational speaker, and also a TV host. To have kindly been asked by World Hijab Day to answer the following questions. The first question is hijab regulated in my country? Yes, it is regulated. There's lots of women who are wearing hijab, lots of revert sisters. And I think the community is working towards with lots of advertising with the hijab on and selling their products. So we have been quite lucky in that way. How does hijab affect my livelihood? It hasn't affected it at all. I've been so lucky working with some amazing individuals throughout my life. I've not really had that much of an experience, maybe of racism, but it's never really affected it, not in my working anyway. Have I experienced hijabophobia? I think once or twice in my whole entire life, in my 36 years. Yeah, I did experience it maybe on transport, where there's been women who were just slashing the Muslim community, and calling me oppressed and things like that. So, yes, it was scary, because especially when you're coming off the bus and you're going home, you're not sure if you're going to be followed or if anybody's going to say anything to you. How did I deal with this? I, to be honest, just left it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you know, just protected myself with Ayatul Kursi, and just asked for Allah to keep giving me hidayah, to not to be scared by these sort of things, that this is just an opinion of a person. This is not what my deen represents, and this is not how I should be living my daily life. How is hijab seen overall in our society, in my country? Well, like I said, more and more education is being brought do the service about hijab and modesty and the importance of it. And it's just so refreshing to see the fact that, you know, that hijab is seen as something beautiful now, and I think, and it's coming into fashion. I know that is something that probably, hijab is something that we wear as part of our deen, we wear it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but it's so nice to see that it's becoming normalized. So that's the thing that I've seen in my country and in Europe. So yeah, alhamdulillah to that. And what message would I like to give to the world today? The message I'd like to give to the world today about hijab is, please keep respecting us in the community. And I love the fact that it's growing. There's so many women out there who are fighting for this, you know, because if, you know, every woman, in my opinion, or even male, has the right to dress how they wish. But however, you know, you should respect everybody's cultures, their society, the community, and the deen. And that's my message today. So respect every faith, and honor everyone. And how you represent yourself in the hijab is who you are as a Muslim. It's not just what you're wearing. Your hijab is internal and as an external thing as well. Internally is how you judge others and how you live your life and how you trust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's my message for you all today. Thank you so much for watching, and hope you all enjoy our amazing conference.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. My name is Mariam Al-Hatu from Nigeria. The hijab is not regulated in Nigeria. There are no certain rules, principles guiding how you use it. It affects my livelihood positively because it shows modesty, respect, and integrity. When it comes to hijab phobia, I think every northern Nigerian lady has experienced it because it creates this room for who you are. So I think the outside world tends to describe you negatively, in the sense that when it comes to the insecurity issues in Nigeria, we can see that there are some certain places a hijabi can't go to because of who she is or because of the hijab she wears. Take example the Plateau State in Nigeria here, with the certain insecurity, the religious clash. So there are some certain areas a hijabi cannot go to because her life is threatened. The coming of this Boko Haram insurgents, the militants, creating this arena that their action defined the hijabi. So you can you can see that we are not free to do what we want, and there are some certain things we can't do because of the hijab. And yeah, this creates a fear amongst us, and most of hijabis can't actually freely walk with the hijab, so they tend not to use it sometimes. When you come to a life-threatening situation, I think it's pretty sure you take quick action. So yeah, hijab phobia is really growing every day in Nigeria because the Muslims, the hijabis, are seen as terrorists, if I may use that word, permit me to. My society, my country, hijab is seen as this symbol of a zealous religious devotion. So when you wear your hijab, yeah, you're the Muslim. Okay, my message my message I would like to pass to the world is that be proud of who you are. The hijab shouldn't actually define your kind of person. You shouldn't be tied down to what people say about wearing the hijab. You should just go ahead. You're beautiful, you're perfect, and you shouldn't tie yourself down because you are a Muslim. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name's Aruj. I've been wearing the hijab for 10 years, just over 10 years now, and I am also a hijab stylist. I've been styling hijabs for the past 4 years, and my love of fashion is what led me towards hijab styling. Even before I started wearing hijab, I've always taken great pride in my appearance. I've always been very much into accessorizing and matching my shoes and matching my accessories to my outfit. So when I started wearing hijab, that was a big part of how I looked and how I dressed. And I always liked matching my hijab to my outfit, and I was very particular about how I wore my hijab. Because of how I did my hijab at a couple of weddings, a few people asked me to style their hijabs from them, and then that took me down the path of hijab styling. So I do hijab styling very much part-time. It obviously, I do it more as a hobby and then for business purposes, but it is a nice business to have on the side, especially obviously when you enjoy something. It's nice to do that for a career as well. Like I said, I've been wearing hijab for 10 years. When I first started wearing hijab, it was a journey for me from wanting to wear it to wearing it. I used to work in an environment where there were no Muslims. I started praying, I started practicing Islam, and I was really nervous about physically putting the hijab on. My dress sense was, I never used to wear clothes that showed my body, but I didn't dress very modestly, so I would wear shorter tops with trousers, or I would wear short sleeve tops. I would always have my hair down. So the transition from covering my hair was, I always looked after my hair really well. Still do. I just cover it now. But the transition from covering my hair to wearing longer tops to wearing long sleeve, I knew that it would be a complete 360 for me. The year that I wanted to start wearing hijab, my husband and I decided to go on Umrah. And I said to him, if we're going to go on Umrah, I want to start wearing hijab before we go on Umrah, because I don't want to come back the same as I was beforehand, not physically, but mentally as well and emotionally as well. I wanted to make that change. I'm also the first woman in my family to wear hijab like this. So that was a big change for me as well, from being in a family where nobody wore hijab to being the first one to take the step to wear it was quite nerve-wracking for me. So I started wearing hijab. I've never actually experienced hijabophobia firsthand, but when I started wearing hijab, I did see a difference in the way that I was treated by people who worked with me when I didn't wear it to how they treated me afterwards. I was always reserved as an individual. I've never been like the loud, outgoing type. So that didn't change about me. I was like that before. I'm like that afterwards as well. But I felt like just the way that I was included in things or not included in things, the way that people spoke to me, the way that people maintained friendships with me, that changed after I started wearing hijab. So it wasn't first-hand hijabophobia, but I did feel a difference. And to be honest with you, as I've grown over the years, as I've grown up, as I've matured, I care less now about what people think than I did 10 years ago. So that's how I've overcome those changes. And the way that I see it is that people come into your life in stages, and they either stay in your life or they go, and everything happens for a reason. So there are actually, where I live in England. I'm from Birmingham, which is very diverse. There are no strict regulations. There's no rules about whether you can or can't dress in a certain way. So that freedom is something that I have and something that I value. In my society, like I said, is very diverse. So I don't have any restrictions. Where I live, there aren't many Muslims where I live, but everyone's really nice. I've never ever had any comments or anyone treat me differently. If I had a message to you guys, a message that I want to put across for the world on how the hijab is portrayed, is that hijab is everyone has their own journey of hijab. Like, for me, the physical aspect of wearing hijab, it is part of my identity, it is part of who I am. When I decided that I was going to wear hijab, even on the days when you feel weak and you want to look prettier, you want to show your hair, I decided that I'm never going to do that, because this is part of my identity. This makes me who I am. For me, it's a representation of being a Muslim, which I think is really, really important, especially in this day and age.
Hello, I'm Maria Khanam, and I live in New Delhi, India. I did my graduation English Honours from Al-Falah University and recently have been passed out from Jamia Millia Islamia and completed my Masters in Gender Studies. Also, I did my CTP course, that is the Certificate Translation Proficiency in English Language from Jamia Millia Islamia, and now pursuing my PG Diploma course from Jamia Millia Islamia in Education Management. A part of my studies, I am also working with Sequin, that is Center for Equity and Inclusion. It's a NGO, and a unit of Jai Jawan Jai Kisan Trust. And I am very interested in gender and women's rights issues as well. And I am very vocal about hijab issues, and I'm very speaking against Islamophobia in India and around the world. And I have written a lot of poems on women and gender right issues as well, like on patriarchy, on misogyny, on child marriage, many more. So first of all, I just want to say that in India, many women and girls are wearing hijab, and from the perspective of my country, as we all know that India is a secular country, we all have rights to represent ourselves. Whether we want to assert our identity or not, it's up to you, right? So the background I have is from India, and it's my human right that I can represent myself as a Muslim woman, and I'm wearing that hijab is also not an obligation from the country's side, first of all. Second is that it affects my identity very well, and also it affects my livelihood, because we are not getting jobs on the basis of our hijab. We are not getting enrolled in colleges and schools because we are wearing hijab. Like you have seen a recent news around the TV that in UP, Uttar Pradesh, a state in India, where many small girls in a school are not even allowed to enter in the class because they are wearing hijab. So you are getting my point. Like, livelihood is another step before education, and education is a basic human right. So if you are being troubling to get educated yourself and declining entries in the colleges and the schools because you are wearing hijab, is obviously will affect my livelihood. If I will go at a job and for an interview, their question will remain the same, that why I am wearing hijab. And this question is not with the question mark. This is like exclamation. Like, why are you wearing hijab? I don't think so. That I don't think so will add after the question mark or the exclamation mark is very problematic for each one of us. Second, my experiences are obviously there. I have faced a lot of issues on social media. I have experienced that Islamophobic attitude at a very first hand in my college when I enrolled in MA Gender Studies. And the behavior of my few classmates was not well with me, and they somehow passed comments on me. And because for them, my voice is not just representing me; it represents my community, my own people, and for all Muslim women. Few of them do not wear hijab; they are Muslims, but again they consume the same kind of narrative in the background that my voice is not coming from myself. It is coming from the patriarchal roots, from the religion, because I am very faith-based approach following. So they were like, if you have faith, doesn't mean that you have to wear that hijab. So I'm not deciding on my behalf. They were assuming it all by themselves and speaking on my behalf. So when you are speaking on someone else's behalf and legitimizing the whole narrative is problematic. It's not just problematic for me, it's problematic for everyone. We can share experiences and share opinions, but we cannot demotivate someone and taking their existence from the very roots and diminishing their own life as per se of the liberation. And I think this is very problematic. And in the very beginning, when I enrolled in my master's gender studies, in the very few months was very, very problematic for me, because I was depressed at the time, and I was be like, I must drop that course because it's not meant for me. I do not belong here, and that belongingness is not coming from inside my heart, but it is coming from the voices that is roaring around my hijab, and they are they are representing me in that kind of framework that my own voice is not representing anything. So this is the very basic thing that I have been facing from a very long time. A part of that, everyone was questioning me on certain ways, and the way, and I was I took courage to continue my course, that is the gender studies, because I was like, no, I do not belong here, but I need to belong here. It's not someone's other decision who will guide me. It's the one who will lead me. It's me. It's my own willpower that gives me courage to speak again and again on the same issues. It gives me courage that I speak of many issues through writings, through articles, through poetries, to show my own resistance in my own ways. And then after that, I'm capable of that. First thing is that, and the society seeing hijab is very patriarchal, oppressive, religious. And their religious mean that it is somehow linked to the tradition, and tradition means conservative, and conservative mean, you know what I'm saying, that it is a orthodox. So all the linkages from the very root is very problematic. Like if I am religious, simply you will define it that it means it's tradition. If it's tradition, it's conservative. It's conservative, it's orthodox, and whole narrative is very problematic for our existence. And for society, it's wrong if you are representing religion from that perspective, that wearing that piece of cloth, and it's just not a piece of cloth, it's both literal and symbolic as well. It can be a way of my resistance, it can be a symbol of my existence, it can be a symbol of my individuality, and it can also assert that my voices does not mean that everyone's voices. It can also be represent that the pressure of following the community norm is not on my head. I can represent myself in front of everyone and be vocal and be capable of everything that any woman can do. So these kind of attitudes and the visibility make me more courageous, more brave. And I just want to tell everyone that hijab is not just like something very you are seeing from the very patriarchal perspective. If I am following my faith as an individual, it means that I am not pleasing it to inspire men or the community of Islam, right? So it means that I am wearing it for the God, for the Allah who make me, and I can do anything for him, for the God, for her. So these kind of things is like need to understand, and why everyone is just dissolving my own individuality and Muslim women individuality in other identities as well, that needs to be assert, that needs to be highlight, and we can make it visible on media, and we can change the narrative, because our voices can be legitimate way of thinking and an intellectual way of asserting existence as well. So that's all about. Thank you.